אבא, יש מלא מתים, תשלח משטרה לפה.
מתים?
אבא, בבקשה, תשלח משטרה לפה, נכון.
איזה כיף זה לפני מסיבה שמגיעים לתחנת דלק וכל מי שבתחנת דלק גם בא איתך למסיבה. נכון. נכון. כאילו אנחנו בני 16.
משאלה.
מה שאני רוצה הכי הרבה בלב, וילה בעתלית עם 3 רוטוויילרים ועוד דראם.
נשיפה למזל.
וואלה, פיקפו לנו מסיבה, ואמא שלי, נופל עלינו טיל.
וואו, איזה סצנה. וואו. אני אכול חרדה איך שנפתח לי. וואי.
נפתח לי החיים באמא, ואנחנו בדרום. ואמא שלי השוטרים כנפים. ג'יסר.
תראו, בחיים לא קרה לנו דבר כזה במסיבה. אשכרה, השוטרים מחליטים אותנו לשכב על הרצפה, יש פה טילים.
האירוע ברגע זה הסתיים, אז אני מבקש להתחיל להתארגן, לצאת מהשלטי, האירוע הסתיים.
בום! עוד בום! מה זה דפוקים? מי עושה מסיבה בעזה? מי?
אנחנו גאות ונועה. אולי היום האחרון שלנו. תדעו שאהבנו אתכם. ולמה צפו אותי, אני אומרת לכם.
אנחנו כאילו בפקקים פה, כולם בורחים מאותו המקום. מקווה שיהיה טוב.
תרמיה!
אנחנו תקועים בכביש, מיליון רכבים בצד הזה ומיליון רכבים בצד הזה, ואף אחד לא יכול לצאת. גם ימינה וגם שמאלה יש 2 מחסומים של המשטרה בגלל חדירת מחבלים.
خلي 2000 يروحوا في الاسلام! خلي 10,000 يروحوا في الاسلام! קפוץ אחורה! איפה? במהירים כאן! בכניסה לבית יצאו מתוך הייצור! באלוהים עכשיו! بيشربوا والله بشربوا يوريهم علينا אבא, יורים עלינו, אז אם אני מת, תדע שאני אוהב את כולכם.
איך אין פה צבא? איך אין פה צבא?
צבא, אמא, אין פה...
אנחנו נמצאים איזה 2,000 איש, היינו בנובה במסיבה בעוטף, ואנחנו כולנו פה בשטח רצים ואין פה משטרה ואין פה חיילים. אני שולחת עבודה לטלפון.
לא מפסיקה לרוץ. תרוצי. כי אל תפסיקי לרוץ. זה החיים שלנו. כי זה החיים שלנו.
הסיטואציה ממש הזויה, אבל אמא, אבא, אני אוהב אתכם ועל כל מה שעשיתם בשבילי. תודה לחיים, אני אוהב אתכם. תהיו שמחים, תהיו מאושרים, תהיו מאוחדים. אני מקווה שאנחנו נצא מהיום הזה בסדר. המחבלים מתקרבים לפה ויורים עלינו, ואם לא, תדעו שאני אוהב אתכם, את משי, את דור, את כולם. אני אוהב אתכם ותודה לכם על כל השנים שהייתם איתי. וזהו, מקווה שהסרטון הזה לחינם, אבל אם לא, אני אוהב אתכם.
די, הכל טוב, אל תבכי.
אתה שם. זה ממש לידינו. אני ממש רוצה הביתה. יש מקווה שנצא מפה מהר. אבוש, אני עוד חיה, יש לי גופה ומלא רגליים שנשענות לי על הרגל כבר על 4 שעות. אני חושבת שהצטרכו לקרות לי אותם. כן, אבל למה הם לא באים?
יואו, שחדו מלא!
זה מחבלים, בסדר. זה מחבלים מתים. זה מחבלים.
אבל סע! לא, זה חברים! אבל סע! זה חברים למפגר, תראה את הנעליים! אבל סע! משטרה צה"ל! מי שם בפנים? מי בפנים? יש לי פה הרוגים! 1, 2, 3, 4 יש בפנים? אוי ואבוי. לא. היא מתה. מישהו, בבקשה. מישהו יכול לענות?
השפה של הסרט והשם שלו, אשטג נובה, הוא בעצם מורכב מסרטונים שעלו לרשתות החברתיות, כי זה הדור שהיה במסיבה, שמתעד הכל כל הזמן, בכל רגע נתון, את השמחות, את האהבות וגם את הזוועות. ואני מאוד מאוד מקווה שהסרט הזה יגיע לכולם כמה שיותר מהר, ושלא תהיה עין אחת שלא תצפה בסרט הזה.
It's Sagi's first time back in the fighting zone of the Nova Festival since October 7. Barbara, his girlfriend, is with him. He brought her for moral support, but returning still made him uneasy.
It's hard. Bringing a lot of memories, a lot of people that you saw at that day that are not with us today. A lot of memories. I arrived here at 6 o'clock in the morning for morning shift here in the party. A lot of young people, happy, dancing, good vibes. The stage was here in the middle. All the people, you can see the picture of the fortunately murdered was here. In the middle was the dancing area. The war room and the firefighter room and all this thing was in the back of the stage. And when I arrived, we just preparing ourselves to the shift, to secure the area, to make sure everything is okay, everybody is okay. And in about 6:30, kinda, we saw a lot of rockets coming from Gaza into Israel. Immediately, the police commander that was in the party told us, all the officers, to go inside the party and stop the music and evacuate everybody out.
At first, the police present asked the party-goers to lie on the ground. Minutes later, they decided to evacuate them completely. As people were leaving the area, the situation was revealed to be graver than imaginable.
Someone from the party ran at me with his phone in his hand, and he said to me, my brother is on the line, okay, and someone shot at him on the road, on the main road. Immediately I took his phone and I ran into the police room, and I tell the police officer that was there, take the phone, speak with him.
Sagi, together with two other policemen, drove to the location of the shooting. One of them was Eliona Ostafenko. On the main road, only 220 yards from the party area, they encountered first signs of the tragedy that would unfold that day.
We get here, and over there, near the sign, we saw a man just do like this with his hand, and we drove to him, and he says someone shoot at him, and we look at his car, and we see in the back door a bullet, just a hole of a bullet. He wasn't injured.
The civilian told Sagi he saw trucks with people holding weapons.
In this moment, I pulled my gun and I take him and went like off the back of the road over there, and we lay on the ground.
Meanwhile, Eliona and another policeman went back to the party area to report and call for reinforcements.
We start to understood what's happening, but we thought it's only a few ones that came here and they are still here around somewhere.
The three were now driving again, trying to catch up with the terrorists. Finally, they saw a car on the side of the road.
In this place, we saw a white van, and we saw a man lying on the floor near the van, and he just put his hand on his belly and he screamed. So me and Ilona get off the police car and went to him and started to talk to him. And when I pulled up his shirt, I saw a big hole in his belly because of a bullet. And I said to Ilona, start make a pressure. And I get into the van from the other side. I open the door and I see a guy laying on his back with his eyes open. And I check if he had the pulse or something like this, and he didn't have anything. He was murdered.
While Sagi and Ilona tended to the wounded, the third policeman drove back to fetch the medical teams.
So we are here, only me and Ilona, with no communication, no car, no anything. We stay with the injured people. And then we saw two Jeeps that come at us, and they park like 100, 150 meters from us. And from each Jeep, get off something like 6 or 7 terrorists each. So it's like 12 or 14 terrorists. And they're just starting to shoot at us.
The two were standing in an open field. While outnumbered, the terrorists were also better armed with rifles and RPGs. Eliona and Sagi had their personal weapons and 2 magazines with 15 bullets each. Sagi dragged the wounded civilian to the other side of the van. An exchange of fire began as they tried to shoot back, but they realized they didn't stand a chance.
I tell Ilona we have to run back, but there is nowhere to run back here. And then I see this water pipe.
Under fire, they both ran as fast as they could.
They shoot at us. The bullets are like everywhere.
And then, the second before they reached the water pipe, Eliona was hit.
Exactly in this point, like 1 or 2 meters from the pipe, Ilona said to me, "I'm hit," and she hold her breath, and she is falling over here. And I get here behind this pipe, and I lie right here, and my head is behind this pipe, and I'm right here, and with my pistol, I shoot at them, and they shoot at me like tons of bullets.
The terrorists went back to the van to make sure the 2 wounded civilians were dead.
You are complete yourself with the thought that you're gonna die. It's the only thing you think of. The only thing you think of. That's it.
1 against 14 terrorists. What chance did Sagi have?
One of them go to their Jeep, and he bring an RPG, and he go over his knees, and he shoot the RPG on me, and the RPG is exploding like 10, 15 meters behind me.
The 14 terrorists came into Sagi's direction. He played dead and didn't shoot back.
And then I see 2 army chopper just getting from this way to this way above this field. And the terrorists see the chopper. And they take 3 RPG and they shoot on the chopper.
Luckily, they missed, but now the terrorists, for some inexplicable reason, go back on their jeeps and flee.
In this moment, I check Ilona that laying here, and unfortunately, she murdered.
Eliona Ostafenko was killed at the age of 25. In total, 58 police officers died protecting the partygoers of the Nova Festival on October 7, making it the biggest tragedy in the history of Israeli police.
I see car going just to the terrorist direction, and I ran to the road and just stop.
Sagi could still spot the terrorists on the side of the road, waiting for more cars to cross. He updated the soldier inside the car. The 2 did a U-turn in the intersection nearby. They saw a group of 100 Nova Festival survivors. He took charge and put them all in a safe room. The soldier, a civilian with a gun, and Sagi guarded the entrance of the safe room for hours until the IDF was able to extract them to a safe location. Over 2 months have passed, and these beautiful fields that on October 7 became the landscape of an unimaginable horror movie are now again peaceful, thanks to the men and women who put their lives on the line to save others.
Yigal Shitrit has lived and worked in Be'eri for several decades, but on October 7th, everything changed.
Those are the members of the kibbutz that used to work in the print.
and were murdered, part of the more than 90 people that were murdered on the 7th of October, on Saturday. We have here people that I know for more than 40 years. Part of them are from my class in the Kibbutz. Part of them I worked with for over 25 years. At the bottom, we have the picture of Yossi Sharabi, which is, he is abducted with his brother Eli Sharabi. And the last person to be added to this wall is Sar Baruch, may he rest in peace. We heard about it on Saturday.
Yigal Shitrit's former classmates include Gil Buyum, who was murdered with his son, and Oron Bira, who was killed with his wife and 2 children, including his daughter Tair, also an employee of the company. In all, almost 90 people from Kibbutz Be'eri were killed, including children. But barely a week after the October 7th massacres, the printing works resumed its activities.
Here, I want to tell you something about Yitzhak Bachar. He's 80 years old. He comes to work every day from Yam HaMelach to Be'eri. The last person that was added to the wall is Sar Baruch, is his grandson. His wife was murdered on the Saturday the 7th. His other grandson was murdered on the Saturday of the 7th of October. And Yitzhak comes every day to work. This is a story of strength, of belief, of everything that means Kibbutz Be'eri, or Tfus Be'eri. Look at this person, it's amazing.
Natasha Cohen also works at the printing works. She and her family have lived on Kibbutz Be'eri for 32 years. On October 7th, when the numerous rocket alerts began to sound around 6:30 a.m., her husband was out walking the dog.
Within minutes, we heard a motorcycle. And I looked at my husband and I said to him, oh dear, it must be from the party. They're probably running away to, look for shelter. Tell them to come in. So he went right up to the fence and had a look, and as it came by, so I was busy trying to calm my dog down, so I didn't see them because the fence is, about this high. And then he said to me, it's terrorists. I saw 2 terrorists on a motorcycle with machine guns. And I looked at him and I said, it's, you couldn't fathom terrorists. It sounds crazy, who... rockets we used to, but not terrorists.
Natasha and her family were very lucky because she lives only a few meters from the attacked neighborhood and the terrorists saw her husband. Natasha's family had to stay in the safe room from 7 a.m. until 11 p.m.
That horrible feeling of sitting in your safety room when friends are shouting for help and screaming to help, and you got this useless feeling, you can't do anything about it. Just reading the messages and trying to, call for help. And we were waiting, for the army to come in. Time goes by when you realize the army's not coming in and your friends are shouting for help and there's nothing you can do. You realize there's a big problem because if the army's not here, something's definitely gone wrong.
Several employees of the printing works' accounting department were murdered on October 7th. Natasha, who was in charge of the kibbutz's finances, resumed her work at the printing works a few weeks ago, first remotely and then, a few days ago, on site, having decided to move back.
I didn't think I'd ever come back to Be'eri, thinking to myself, how could I ever come back to a place where I wouldn't feel safe again? But within a very short time after that, you start getting angry and you think they've taken everything, they've ripped everything under your feet, taken your security, your friends, family members, taking my home away from me as well, because we were basically fugitives in our own country. And I think it was the anger of, the humiliation of me not having my own home and them trying to take that from me as well is what it made me decide to come back.
The print house started to work on the second week, I think, after the October 7th, because of two main things. One, it's vital for us, for us all. It's a show of normalcy. In a time that there's no normalcy, we don't even have the language to describe what happened to us after the 7th of October. What you see here, it's not less than amazing. Beyond the strength and resilience, as I said before, it's a beacon. Most of the employees that are working on day to day, they're not from the kibbutz now. They're from all over the area. And they come on daily basis because it's part of their lives. It's their second home.
The Be'eri Printing Works, founded in 1950, is the largest in Israel. It employs 350 people. It is here that a huge number of official documents, including credit cards, checkbooks, and driver's licenses, are printed for the whole country. Miraculously, the printing works was hardly touched by the terrorists. However, bullet holes can be seen here and there, especially on windows, but also on this TV set. A little further along the kibbutz's pathways are destroyed houses as far as the eye can see. Among them, Yigal's. On October 7th, he was not there. With emotion, he shows us what's left of what he calls his fortress.
This is our home. Most of us plan to come back when it will be available. Other people won't be able to come back. Emotionally, this home, Be'eri, suffered on the 7th of October, suffered a lot. And I believe from this suffering, we'll have growth.
A hope imprinted in every kibbutz resident.